Just because I let it slide doesn't mean it isn't pulling on my heart till it's almost wide. 'Cause I wanna let you feel it strong.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up.
Hey guys, welcome to What's Cooking in the South. This is a Tuesday night edition, and we're looking to have some fun here, and it's going to be an adventure. We're having some technical difficulties around here, and we'll see how this goes. It should go just fine. Should go just fine. But welcome to the show. I'm excited about taking a little trip around the NFC South here with you tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit here. Let's do a, sort of an opening round here where we talk about the NFC South and all that's going on with the different teams. I mean, the Saints, we had the Saints have a 6-game winning streak. So I guess the news of their demise, the news of their demise has been greatly exaggerated. But even after they beat San Francisco, Kamara had 3 touchdowns. They were the Saints. They were exactly what you expect from the Saints. But the thing is, I think the story obviously is Drew Brees going down. It was a clean hit. They actually said they think a couple of his ribs were broken in the Buccaneers game, but that he had 3 more ribs broken on the other side and a punctured lung. Man, I cry when I stub my toe. This guy's on the sideline with his helmet on the whole game, trying to figure out if he can come back in or not. Anyway, he took this clean hit from Kentavious Street, who never should have gotten a flag, by the way. Breeze was replaced by some guy named Jameis Winston. You might have heard of him. But according to Adam Schefter, it's the ribs and punctured lung. And they're not putting him on IR. They think he will be back, at least for the playoffs, but they think 3-4 weeks, and it's very possible he could come back. So I got to tell you, I can't stand the Saints, but best of luck to Drew Brees. I would hate to see him go out that way. Tampa can't beat the Saints, but they sure can beat the Panthers. That's just what the doctor ordered. We saw basically the full weaponry on display. Everybody was involved. Everybody was catching passes. Everybody was running. Rojo was going wild. It was a pretty solid game all around by the Buccaneers. The Panthers are falling apart. I think Teddy Bridgewater, Bridgewater's hurt. He has a mild MCL sprain. And that's not season ending, it's day to day, but we'll see what happens there. So that's two of the quarterbacks have gone down in the division. Gronkowski, Cam Brate both scored touchdowns. The thing is, there were 8 quarterback hits on Bridgewater by the Bucs. So the Bucs defense showed up. They pressured the quarterback unlike the week before, and I think that makes all the difference. But Atlanta, okay, they didn't have a game this week, but they are pretty much, I mean, they are as hot as any team in the division. They are somebody that you need to respect and understand. That's as good of a game as, I mean, if you're playing the Falcons right now, you need to respect that. The Falcons are pretty much on fire. You got Dante Fowler's on the COVID list, but I don't know that I don't know how much that's going to impact them or affect them, but I know that Matt Ryan he's just on fire. They have, I think, the third most yards from scrimmage since Dan Quinn got fired. They've just been unbelievable. So you really have to respect that. Interesting little trivia fact. I don't know if you guys knew this. The 46-23 score in the game this week. It seems like that wouldn't be that abnormal of a score for a game. That's the first time in NFL history that a game finished 46-23. I know that's a weird little trivia statistic, but I thought it was kind of interesting. But the Panthers are falling apart. They're young. I think they overperformed early. The sort of the midnight is striking for Cinderella. You're seeing the reality of the NFL catch up to them. The weird beginning of the season with no preseason and everything gave them a little bit of an advantage, but teams are now starting to hit their stride. And as that has happened, you see the Panthers teams are catching up to them. So the Panthers do not seem like, let's put it this way. Panthers can look forward to next year. But in a weird year with the Buccaneers being swept by the Saints and sweeping the Panthers, and they still have both games to go with the Falcons. And the Falcons right now also have 2 games coming up, I believe, in the next 3 weeks with the Saints. There's going to be some very interesting things happening because the Saints do not have Drew Brees. So the Saints without Brees and the Falcons kind of hitting their stride and playing well, it's going to be interesting. I'm very interested to see what happens with that. Anyway, onward and upward, and that's our trip around the NFC South. I want to hear from you guys. You can call me at 678-825-5263. That's 678-825-5263. Or I will put the chat link down here for you in the chat room. There we go. Tim has said to us, Tim Weatherspoon, One of my favorite. I don't know. We need a name for you guys in What's Cooking in the South. I think the Bucs will put up a 50 burger this week. 50 burger, a 50 burger. You know that's an awesome name for this show. He thinks they'll put up a 50 burger this week, or Suckup will get his first game-winning field goal. Well, yeah, you're kind of going all the way one way or the other, aren't you, there, Tim? All the way one way or the other. Christopher Cole says, "Hi, Rick. What's up? What I had for dinner was shepherd's pie." Now you're talking, Christopher. Hey, Christopher. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put an email address in the chat room, and I want you guys to send me your recipes. We'll see what we can do with that. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this down here. And sorry, guys, that is great radio, isn't it? There you go. Perfect. Now what I want you guys to do is send me your recipes, and I really want the one for shepherd's pie because that sounds awesome. So anyway, we've taken our little trip around the NFC South, and I'm interested in hearing what you guys think we can expect in the upcoming weeks. I'm really interested in what's going to happen with the Falcons and Saints coming up, with Jameis and the Falcons playing, at a different level now. I want to know what you guys have to say about that. And right now we're going to add Jacob Charnow to the stream. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, Rick. How are you?
Awesome. I am doing great. I'm excited that you're here, as usual. I mean, it's always a smarter show when you're on the show.
Thank you.
Yep. So what'd you have for dinner?
Ooh, tonight I've been cooking a lot, so that recipe thing, it's exciting. I would love for some recipes. I made some lemon garlic chicken with some sautéed peppers and onions, and yeah, nice little protein-filled dinner. Keep it healthy. Had a nice little workout today.
You better be sending me that recipe.
Oh yeah, of course. I got you.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. I went a completely different direction. I went some old school mama's recipe, spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh,
which goes entirely against every little bit of the low carb diet that I've been on.
Oh yeah, like I'm usually good during the week. Man, Sundays kill me because I go wings, pizza. It's just me, my dad, and usually one or two of my friends come over, and it's just
nice.
We just feast, and that's usually the end of my diet for that.
Yeah, well, you don't talk to me when you're 54, brother.
Yeah, no.
It's brutal. Well, you tell me, Jacob. I'm interested in people's thoughts about the Falcons and Saints coming up 2 out of the next 3 weeks, and what's about to happen to the Saints now with Drew Brees out.
So you're right. The Saints are in a very, very interesting situation. I am very curious. So here's what I think they should do with Jameis, and it's gonna sound confusing. I think they need to let him run loose in a controlled environment, which basically you let Jameis throw the ball, you let him do what he can do. You need to let him play quarterback, but you can't let him it needs to be under the same game plan that Sean Payton has kept, and we know Sean Payton can have, right? We know he's a great coach. I think that Jameis being able to throw the ball more than 5-10 yards, Michael Thomas can't only run slants, and I think that's going to show that he can do other things through the next couple weeks, right? Your lineup, you have a great offensive line. You have the best weapon in the NFL in Alvin Kamara. This offense is still going to be good. If anything, I think that the passing game is only going to improve. You might not see Kamara getting as many checkdowns. You'll see more of, Kamara running routes. You'll see him getting more than 5-yard receptions. I think you'll see Michael Thomas getting out there. You'll see more 15, 20-yard receptions from him, running routes that we don't normally see. Emmanuel Sanders, we're going to see a few deep shots to him. But with the Falcons, I think that they're going to beat the Falcons both times they play them. I think that they are still an infinitely better team than the Falcons, but this defense is still really good. But yeah, I got to take the Saints in both these games. I think the Saints are still going to be a pretty solid team.
The Falcons offensively have been pretty, phenomenal. Are you going to see Jameis's decision-making challenges, or do you think that's completely solved? I mean,
No,
you saw if you
no.
watched much of the game last week, he almost threw a couple.
Oh yeah, no, definitely the decision making is still probably not the best. But this is an opportunity for Jameis that he wouldn't get anywhere else, right? He has a chance to Teddy Bridgewater his own career, which is he comes in for Drew Brees and he plays really, really well for the next 5 games, puts them in the playoffs, and Jameis gets a starting job next year. And it's very possible if he comes in and he doesn't. However, it's very unlikely, but if he comes in and doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, I don't see what he couldn't do. Right, he was relatively accurate with the football, but that's his decision making, and he could throw the ball pretty deep. So, I mean, a good arm, some accuracy, and some good decision making, and he's a solid Drew Brees replacement. Because what does Drew Brees do differently that a normal quarterback can't do?
What does he do that normal? Well, he never makes those mistakes. That's my thing. He just throws. He gets rid of the ball quickly. It's always to the right. It's always to the open guy, and he makes plays out of nothing. But he doesn't make the mistakes, and that's what I think he does.
Mm-hmm. I'm still like Drew Brees is a very confusing quarterback for me right now because I think that like he's still very good, but I feel like his age and his lack of mobility limits this offense a bit, for sure.
Right.
It limits them to a lot of checkdowns to Kamara, slant passes to Michael Thomas.
Right.
Versus more dynamic offense with a quarterback who's maybe more mobile, maybe got a bigger arm and things like that. But so I think they do change the game plan a little bit if Jameis is expected to be in there for a long time, which I'm sure he is because that injury sounds brutal.
He's done that punctured lung.
Oh my God.
I mean, and to me, I guess that's the thing is physically now you have more ability. I mean, everything that everybody said about Tom Brady, that's what I think you have with Drew Brees. Yeah, is you actually do have the severely diminished skill set.
Yes,
and I don't think you have that with Brady so much. Let's add Tyler Brashaw here.
Sure.
Hey Tyler, how you doing, brother?
Hey fellas.
Nada, how you doing?
What's up, Tyler?
All right.
All right.
How we doing?
We are doing good, but you know what you got to tell me. What'd you have for dinner?
Actually, tonight, me and my wife and my 2 daughters had a little pizza making contest. We all made our own little self-sized pizza, and we had a little competition.
And the winner was?
Me and my daughter tied in votes, so we have a cook-off tomorrow night.
The
big cook-off.
Okay. Now hold on. Now this is completely what's cooking in the South kind of info. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So there are 2 things that I need to know. Number 1, I need you to email me, and I will get this email address to you. But I need to know what your pizza was and what her pizza was. Okay. I need the details. All right. And we're gonna have people in here vote. Okay. And then tomorrow, when there's a winner. When we're on the show, when we're back here Saturday night, if you are available, I'm expecting a report on who the winner is.
I can do that.
Okay.
The problem is my wife is a much better cook than me, and my daughter has her in her corner tomorrow night. So I gotta
Don't making excuses.
I gotta bring my A game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no excuses. No excuses. You better bring you're in Chicago. You better be able to make pizza.
We did pizzas tonight. I did a little chicken bacon ranch pizza, and my oldest daughter did your kind of typical pizza, red sauce, and threw a lot of cheese on there, a lot of sausage.
Yeah. I'm voting for her. The tie is broken.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to let her know. Rick, and actually she watched me on the show the other night, so she'll probably recognize your name.
Very cool.
I'm gonna have to let her know Rick decided the tiebreaker. She already
awesome. And we have somebody here. I'm not sure what's about to happen here, guys, because we have somebody who wants to be added to the stream and they didn't put their name. So let's see. Anything could happen in the next couple of seconds. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from? Going once. Going twice.
Bye-bye.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
bye-bye.
Adios.
I'm not sure what just happened. Um, anyway, that's pretty funny. Listen, guys. This whole thing, I love both food and I love football. And these are just two things that seem to go like perfectly together for me. But so I'm on Sundays. I have if I stick with my diet, which is rare, it's usually pretty darn good. I mean, I've got some great food, some great recipes, and so we'll we'll get something together here with the recipes for you guys. Now, all right. So Tyler,
Yeah.
Falcons Saints, 2 out of the next 3 weeks. Don't speak as a Bucs fan. Speak realistically. Try to step away for a second. Tell me what you think's going to happen.
Well, the first thing I want to say about it is I'm glad that we're finally going to see Jameis help the Bucs win a division. That's good to see. I think the Falcons have been playing much better, especially offensively, throwing the ball for a ton of yards. But I still think that the Saints are a better team. They're defensively a better team. I think they're going to be able to still get to Matt Ryan. And Jameis just has to. I mean, I know it's hard to say with him, but he just has to keep the ball in their possession. And I know we've watched 5 years of him not doing that, but so I mean, give the ball to Kamara. I mean, they'll probably take more shots downfield, like Jacob said now, because Drew Brees kind of has that noodle hanging from his shoulder there, and Jameis can throw it. But we did see him almost throw a couple interceptions last week. But I hopefully they split them somehow. But I see the Saints winning both. I see a lot.
I see a split. I do see a split because division games are usually closer.
That is
the Falcons are playing well. New Orleans is going through some struggles. I mean, they might win. This may. I think we're going to see something that I find interesting is if the Saints do string together nothing but victories without Drew Brees, this will be the second year in a row. And I think the writing's on the wall at that point when it comes to Brees.
How do you feel about the Bucs' chances in the divisions today compared to where you did 3 days ago?
Oh, you know what, Jacob, you take that first, and I'll go from there.
Okay, so they're infinitely better because you look at the chemistry that the team has with Drew Brees, and it's like, okay, he's been the quarterback of this team for however long, right? He's been with Sean Payton, and now coming in, Jameis Winston really hasn't quarterbacked this team for any games, like any actual games. The Falcons are going to be a challenge for him. I think it's going to be a close game, but if they can I think they'll be able to like squeeze out enough games between this defense and just like Jameis. If Drew is actually a product of the system and Jameis comes in and wins games, then the Bucs probably won't be able to win this division just because they're 2 games behind, right? They lost both games to the Saints. But if Jameis comes in and he plays like Jameis Winston the last however many years, then the Bucs will probably win the division just because the Saints won't be able to win enough games to keep up with the Bucs.
I think that's about the perfect analysis. I think if Jameis is the old Jameis, the Bucs win the division. If Jameis has learned, if this is a new Jameis in a different environment, then everything is different, and it's probably going to end up with the Saints winning the division. But I do think that they'll probably split with the Falcons because the Falcons are hot. It's a division game, and I mean, they hate each other. If there's a rivalry in the NFC South, it's those 2 teams. They genuinely do hate each other.
Well, Rick, how much better could Jameis Winston possibly be, right? He hasn't had much time under Sean Payton, and it's not like Sean Payton is like some quarterback whisperer that's like going to fix all of Jameis's problems. So I think that decision-making factor, it's hard to make that go away.
I don't know if that's true, Jacob. I mean, maybe you're right, but I don't know. I mean, Bridgewater looked like, I mean, look what happened with him.
Right. Teddy's always been pretty good, though. It's just he's been injured, and it's been like when he was in Minnesota, he was fine. Like I think, didn't he bring them to a playoff game? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes, I think they lost in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Was that the Blair Walsh kick? That might have been the Blair Walsh kick. Maybe before. Or Teddy might have been before.
Yeah, Teddy was before that.
Yeah.
So for me, I just think honestly, even if Jameis finishes the rest of the year, which I don't know how they'll play it out. I don't know. I mean, it's a collapse lung that's pretty severe, but I can see him resting for 5 weeks, or as long as they keep holding the division held down. I feel like Drew Brees is going to sit all the way up until maybe get him some reps back in there in week 16, week 17, just to get back out there. But as long as Jameis can look, he went 7-9 last year with the Bucs, as bad as he looked at turning the ball over. If he can, I think the Saints still get the job done, because essentially the Bucs are 3 games behind right now. If he can just go 500 at that team right now, that still puts the Bucs at a pretty tough uphill climb, given our schedule with the Rams and Chiefs coming up. I know the Saints play the Chiefs later in the year, but other than that, they do have the Vikings who are playing well right now. But other than that, we have the divisional game with the Panthers, or the Saints do have with the Panthers, 2 with the Falcons. They have the Broncos somewhere in there. So if Jameis can just go 500 in his time in there, that's going to make it pretty difficult for the Bucs to climb that hill.
Yeah,
but like we've said, it's Jameis Winston. This guy can throw 4 interceptions in a game next Sunday, and next thing you know, they don't know who their quarterback is. It's Taysom Hill at that point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's some good comments here. The difference is Drew Brees knows it takes the entire 60 minutes to win a game, and Jameis tries to win on every single play. Tim says, I don't even know what that is.
Shrimp fried what the hell?
Diavolo pizza? Do a shrimp? I don't know.
Tim, I'm going to take your word for it. I bet it's good. I'm going to pass.
Give me a recipe. I'm interested.
Oh, yeah. I love shrimp, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, Saints are due for a few losses in the next few weeks. Let's hope you're right, Christopher. Hey, Rick. Hey, Mike. How you doing, brother? And Teddy was never prone to mistakes like Jameis has been. That's a fact.
Well, I think we all acknowledge that. I think Jacob just said that this is his chance to do what Teddy did last year and win games with Drew Brees and kind of revive his career. It's the exact same situation as Teddy Bridgewater. Jameis is stepping in for an injured Drew Brees. He plays well. He goes 3-0, 4-0, whatever it may be. He might be a Chicago Bears starting quarterback next year, whoever else is the quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
It's controversial yet interesting point I'm going to make.
What's that?
If Jameis Winston comes in and lights it up, is it possible Jameis is the quarterback of the Saints next year?
Well, now I'm not thinking that's controversial. Okay, I'm thinking that's probable. All right, I'll go that far. If Jameis lights it up, I think Jameis is the quarterback for the Saints going forward.
Yeah, I don't see any long-term deal happening, but I could see another 2-year deal being strung together or something.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that. Look, I think this is it for Brees, and I think
it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, and when you saw the look on his face on the sidelines, to me, now here's my dime store body language expertise. Okay. You looked at the guy and the look on his face, he looked like he was genuinely bothered, genuinely upset. I got the feeling he was almost like what was going through his head was, this better not be it. Like, please tell me I haven't, that may have just been my last play. Because I think he knew something was wrong.
I mean, I feel like when you puncture a lung, that has to be like, you have to know something's up. Crack 5 ribs. Oh my God. That's got to be one of the most painful injuries you can have.
Well, and if you look at it now, that's the only place you can hit quarterbacks. You can't hit below the knee. I mean, you're taking shots to the chest. That's the only place you can hit a quarterback now. So if that's vulnerable, that's a tough injury to bounce back from for anyone, let alone 41-year-old Drew Brees, who, on his way out anyway.
Yeah. Somebody I think it was the dude was calling him Brittle Bridgewater. I think we got Brittle Breeze at this point because it just seems like it's becoming the norm for him. So I don't know. Let's see here. Mike DeRoche, chicken parm was on the menu tonight. Now that's always good. That is always good. Could Jameis be a Jet next year, Jacob?
Every time I'm here, Mike's always roasting my Jets. It's always, it's really easy, but no, he's not going to be. It's going to be T-Law. He'll be in New York next year.
Yeah, you think?
Oh yeah. What's a better situation for him? Jacksonville? No. Like ton of cap space, new coach. Essentially, Trevor Lawrence is going to get to pick his own coach because I bet you that if the Jets have the 1 pick, there's no way Joe Douglas isn't calling Trevor Lawrence and being like, "Who do you want?" Right? You could have Jim Harbaugh. We will pay Eric Bieniemy because they can go pay a coach, right?
Yeah,
and they'll be willing to pay because they have so much cap space. They'll be willing to pay more for
Sure.
a coach for the future.
And coaches don't count against the cap space. Oakland, I mean Vegas Raiders.
Maybe they bring Dabo along with them.
What's that?
Maybe they bring Dabo along with them.
That would be. I don't think he. I mean, he's making. How much money is he making at Clemson?
He's
Probably
got
a
to
lot.
be. I mean, between him and Saban, they got to be taking.
Oh my god! Like
Yeah, I
NFL
didn't
coach
realize,
money
but in
for-
something like it's an insane, it's like 40 states or something like that. The state employee making the most money is the head football coach at the university in the state. That means more than the governor, the state employee making the most money by far in like 40 states is the head football coach.
I'm curious to know what Dabo's making right now. Let me look this up.
Yeah.
See if Jets would be willing to dish out more for him to leave.
Yeah, no, Mike DeRoche says a Southern dish next Tuesday, jambalaya. Didn't you have jambalaya last time, Mike? If I remember right, you're doing jambalaya a lot, which
Dabo makes $9.3 million a year.
a year. We were talking about Gruden making 100 million. That's only 10 per year. That's almost the same thing. It sounded insane when you heard that Gruden was making 100 million, right?
Oh my
now
god!
you look at it and go, Dabo Sweeney's doing it. And
Speaking of money, I mean, I know
your tax dollars at work.
We're traveling down, or I'm traveling down the wrong sport here. But speaking of money, James Harden just turned down $50 million a year in the NBA. Can you imagine saying, "Nah, I'm good"?
No matter, just to play with Kevin Durant, and you want to be like, I'm going to turn down $50 million a year. Like, are you kidding me?
Dak Prescott.
Well, Dak,
Yeah.
Dak, it's a. But Dak is like not taking it, but he wants to stay with the Cowboys. Harden's taking it. He's like,
but I'm just like,
done.
listen, if you're in sports, don't turn down the money. Okay.
Oh my god.
Don't do it. Look at
Dak,
how much money did Dak Prescott just lose?
Especially in his situation. Look, James Harden's he's already been paid by the Rockets once before. He was paid before that. Dak was looking for his big contract. If you're his agent, sign the line for him. What are you doing? It's ridiculous. I mean,
yeah. Peter, I'm going to try this. Wazalowski says, when Marpet comes back, do we keep AQ at center and put Marpet at tackle in place of Smith? Marpet's not a tackle. So no, you can't do that, Peter. Marpet, he's just not a tackle.
AQ Shipley is one of my favorite players. I love him.
Yeah, that's some awesome depth. It really is some awesome depth. But no, you cannot do that. You've got some flexibility there, but he's not a tackle. I'm sorry. It'd be nice if we could that easily fix that problem. Mike says, I couldn't take that money and play for Egomaniac Jerry Jones. No amount of money. Oh, I could get over a lot.
I'll be okay with whoever I'm playing for $50 million.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. Say what you want. Call me what you want. I don't care. Yes, sir. I am one of those.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. $50 million. Come on, man.
Yeah, honestly.
Sign me up for that program.
Rick, I don't know if you guys have already talked about this or not. How worried are you about Aaron Donald just smothering Tom Brady this week?
Well, yeah, okay. So here's my thoughts. Obviously, you always have to be concerned, but they shut him down last year. Okay, they game planned him out of the game.
They did. I was there for that. They did really well. That was a shootout. That was a crazy game.
He was, but Aaron Donald was irrelevant.
He was a
last year.
non-factor, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, do I think they can game plan him out of the game again? I think, probably not quite to the level of that they did last year, but yes, I think they can. I just think it's going to be. Look, you had Jameis holds the ball for 7.5 seconds every time he drops back. Brady's going to get rid of the ball quickly, theoretically. assuming they come out and play the same kind of defense that they just did.
I mean, Jalen
So-
Ramsey can only guard how many guys, right? You have so many different
Right.
options at receiver. How many people can Jalen Ramsey possibly guard?
And
Right.
everybody's talking about the Rams defense, which they are a good defense, but Jalen Ramsey can only shut down Mike Evans or Antonio Brown or Chris Godwin, and it's just
It's or.
yeah,
It's
or
not and.
Yeah.
and he's most times Jalen Ramsey comes out on top of his matchup. He's arguably the best cornerback in the league. You could argue it. So it's just, but where do you go from there? I mean, what as a defense, where do you go from there? It's unbelievable.
Well, now but there's also a pride deal. Now there's a couple of things I want to point out. First of all, pride gets teams. If you got your butt kicked last year, a lot of times you want to come back and show, hey, that was a fluke. Now you also have the factor like the Buccaneers struggle with the Saints. The Panthers can't handle the Buccaneers. Certain teams just match up well and play well against certain teams. We're going to find out what's about to happen. The Eagles, and during the Buccaneers' heyday, the Eagles were beating the Bucs every week, every time they played.
Every team has that, yeah.
Right. Now, we're going to find out whether the Buccaneers are going to fill that role, because what's interesting is I believe they play each other again the following year.
They do.
So,
they go back to LA next year, yeah.
Yeah. So that I think is going to be pretty interesting. Can you guys hang on, and I'm going to play some commercials here real quick? Yeah, we'll come right back. All right. Whoops. I'll get it right. We will be right back, guys. Right after these paying the bill messages.
Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. Solar. Power up.
feel strong.
A Super Bowl quality roster.
Tom Brady is expected to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, guys, welcome back. Let's add Jacob and Tyler. How you guys doing? Welcome back.
Hi.
Doing well, doing well. Who threw that little montage together? I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't.
With
yeah,
the last
yeah,
little
yeah.
cheap seat thing. I did
You
that.
did that? Well done.
I did that.
That was
How about
great.
it? How about it? That was fun. Okay, guys. So before Eric Moreno wasn't here for just a moment and he left. So here's the questions I have going forward. Okay, we've talked about Breeze. I want to get into the Panthers a little bit, and I think it's just I think it's worth discussing. The Panthers, obviously, Cinderella. You know, the clock has struck midnight. They're in trouble. Teddy Bridgewater's hurt. Blah blah blah. My question is this the foundation of a team that you have to look forward that you can look forward to in the future, or do you think that they are in essence bound for mediocrity? Jacob, your thoughts first of all.
So it depends how they move forward with their defense. They have a really, really good offense, especially with McCaffrey in there. They're utilizing all their receivers. I love Matt Rule. I love what he's done with this offense. I love what he's done with this entire team in terms of leadership. I mean, they're paying him enough money that he should be being a good leader. This defense is really young. They need to draft defense from here on out for the next 2 years, probably. And I want to say that they're going to be able to compete in this division, but from what it looks like, I mean, the Saints are probably going to remain pretty good. The Bucs are going to be pretty good, and it would be kind of like it would be similar to an NFC West where all the teams are solid, especially with where the Falcons go, because I think that's a real possibility that they get back to relevancy soon. But the Panthers are, if Matt Rule keeps doing what he's doing, they're going to be a pretty solid team going forward.
Okay, what do you think, Tyler? What do you see about the like from the Panthers going forward?
It's interesting because they signed Teddy Bridgewater, and for me, I don't think he's that guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl. But when you look at the division as a whole, we got 3 quarterbacks outside of the Panthers that are kind of on their way out. Matt Ryan's got a few in him. Tom Brady has a few left in him, and then Drew, as we just talked about, this is probably all he's got left is this year. So. And then Matt Rule signed obviously a 7-year deal, so he's in it for the long haul. So they have a chance to build something special. Like Jacob said, they do have to draft defensively. They need to, make sure McCaffrey stays healthy. And I still think they need to go find a quarterback other than Teddy Bridgewater. I just don't think he's that guy. But
I'm a Bridgewater guy.
Are you?
Yeah, I think. Look, no, he's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes superstar, like super, oh my gosh, flashy, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just, to me, I see Bridgewater as just a solid, good quarterback that you can count on.
I think he's a good quarterback. I just worry about how vulnerable he is to injury, right? It's just tough for him to stay on the field. So I just don't see him being. He seems like one of those quarterbacks that's going to be kind of forced out of his career due to injury.
Hasn't he only had like 2 injuries? I mean, granted, one of them, his leg almost fell off. So yeah, that's pretty bad. But the one he has now is not that bad. I mean, it should keep him out. He's day to day.
Right.
Yeah. I'm curious,
Go ahead, Jacob.
I'm curious about like, why do teams have quarterbacks if they don't legitimately believe that they can win them a Super Bowl? Like I can't see Teddy. Like, why play for mediocrity? That's what I don't understand.
You see him as mediocre?
I see him as maybe mediocre, maybe maybe a little above average, but I don't think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think that there are guys that they can go out and either draft one and develop one, or because this is still a young team, so you can go develop a quarterback, or you can get a guy that
Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So my thing with the Panthers situation is Teddy signed a 3-year deal. Rule signed a 7-year deal, right? I think he's just kind of that. It's tough to call him a bridge quarterback. So I think he's more than that. But I think he's a quarterback to I don't still be able to win games while Matt Rule's here building his foundation, starting what he's starting, and still keep him relevant. But I just see him in a few years moving on from him, maybe after this 3-year deal, because I just see bigger plans for them. And at that point, they're going to go a little younger, and this is where I think they're going, because I just mentioned, all 3 of the quarterbacks in the rest of the division are on their way out. Well, Tom looks like he could play another 5 years, so who knows? But
he's got to be on his way out. But what that means, who knows?
Exactly. To me,
time.
to me, is a kind of a bridge quarterback. But I could be completely wrong. I guess I don't know what they're thinking. I just don't see him. I think me and Jacob are on the same page here. I just don't see him hoisting Lombardi anytime.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not arguing that, because I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay, the Rams defense didn't show up last year. Has the Rams D changed from last year? Not a lot. Not a lot. They were good last year. What's funnier is the Bucs offense has changed a lot since last year. So I don't know how that's going to play into it.
The Rams, you just don't know what you're getting from Jared Goff from week to week. That's the Rams.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, that is the biggest question.
Yeah,
that is the biggest question. You're right. Not only can he return kicks, he can make a sick intro for the show. Ricky was doing work. Because I don't know if you know what that's from, guys, but we were talking a couple of nights ago about kick returns. Yes, and I said, I can return kicks. I can stand in an end zone and go. Because that's really all you have to do if you're a kick returner. I mean, and then you don't even have to catch the ball. As a matter of fact, it's better if you don't. Just do this and get out of the way.
Hey, Rick, how much more comfortable were you watching Antonio Brown return kicks than Jaden Mickens return punts?
Yeah.
Well, are they gonna go back to Mickens when he can play?
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, Jacob. Let me see if I can get this to come up on the screen.
Wasn't it that tweet, like the like what's going on? I don't know. I think we talked about this. Like, what a weird thing to do. Like, it's just
right.
It made no sense.
Why in the world, if you're Jaden Mickens and you're behind the likes of Scotty Miller, even but Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, why would you call the team out?
You shouldn't is the answer. That's
right.
They could do without you. Like,
maybe that's the thought. Maybe he wants to be released or something. Feels like he can go somewhere else where he has a better chance of getting in a lineup. I don't know. It was very strange.
Maybe he's like depressed, like Jamal Adams was in New York.
Douglas O'Connor just asked if this is live. Well, Douglas, I'm a little slow sometimes, but I think that this qualifies as live, despite me being a little slow sometimes. Not only, like I said, just reading that one again. Yes, Douglas, it's live. What an answer, Jacob. Angie, let's.
Yeah, thank you, Angie. I appreciate it.
What was that?
Do you know Angie?
I do know Angie.
Okay, I was like, oh, wait a minute now. Okay, hold on. Jacob's getting a little flustered. Hold on, watch this. Let's put him up here full screen
wait.
because he's getting a little flustered.
No, Angie's my friend. Angie's my friend. I told her to watch the show. So.
Oh, very cool. Hi, Angie. Welcome to welcome to What's Cooking from the South. What's cooking in the South, and Angie, in the little chat box there, type in what you had for dinner if you want to be part of this thing. All right, Bridgewater, it says is a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. There's actually a point behind that, though. That sounds like sarcasm, but he's saying he should be a starter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a reasonable comment. As funny as it might say, it sounds humorous, but he's saying he should be a starter.
Mike is the king of comments. I love reading Mike's comments.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I give him a hard time about being from Canada, and it kind of gets under his skin. It's a little bit funny. Let's see. Our defense is a lot better too. That's a great point, Christopher.
Great point, Chris.
That is a great point. Our defense is night and day better than last year.
Right. I mean, who do you have to stop on the Rams? Like what running back? Malcolm Brown.
Well, they run by right. Aren't they running back by committee at this point? I mean,
yeah. So there's no one of star power that you're really gonna have to stop.
I was really high on Cam Akers too. Really,
me too. I
Yeah,
drafted him. I drafted him.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to whether or not, how the Bucs can block their defensive line. I think it's going to come down to that. I think that to me, the entire game is going to come down to what happens in the trenches.
Well,
now it always does, and I know that's somewhat obvious, when you say that, but I think even more so, it's going to basically be the game is going to be won or lost on the left side of Tampa's offensive line.
Let's see what kind of game plan this defense puts together. Right, we've in the last 3 weeks we've seen 2 head scratchers, and then we've seen a great game plan last week. But the 2 weeks prior to that, we were both sitting here thinking, why is Todd Bowles playing 10 yards off on 3?
Right.
What is happening right now?
Right. Why are we not rushing the quarterback or barely rushing the quarterback? So yeah, that's true. Christopher says the Rams left tackle is out. Yeah. What's his name?
Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah. Got hurt. And I don't know how long he's out for. I don't know whether it's a season-ending thing or what the deal is. But
I thought I saw 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm
okay. That's a big gut punch to them. And by the way, something I think is interesting is the Saints won last week, but they lost the first seed even though they won. So because of tiebreakers and the way that whole thing worked, the Packers are now the number 1 seed.
God, that bothers me so bad.
Yeah, me too.
We stomp the Packers, and then we just can't steal one game from the Saints, and now we're just sitting in a wild card spot. It drives me nuts.
It must be, I couldn't imagine being like a fan of a team in the NFC, because I'm an AFC fan. I hate how the Steelers are the number 1 seed. I cannot stand the Steelers, and it just I don't worry about the Saints. That's not a concern for me usually.
Well, if the season ended today, I think this is interesting. If the season ended today, do you guys know who would be the number 4 seed?
It would be Bucs Eagles, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be the Bucs against the Eagles. The Eagles at 3-6 or 3-5-1, whatever they are.
There's a real possibility that you play your first playoff game at MetLife Stadium against the Giants.
It's how hilarious would it be? I mean, it may be the best possible scenario.
I mean, Tom can't beat the Giants, so maybe we'll see. Well,
he beat him this year.
He did, but it was close.
It was, but how interesting would it be? Do you want to be, rather than win your division, do you want to be that wild card spot?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, by the way, let me say this. I think the Giants are going to win that division. I think the Giants are the best team in that division.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I haven't seen anything out of anybody else, and the Giants, to me, when they put it together, they look okay, and nobody else even looks okay.
Carson Wentz has looked so bad. It's unbelievable. Doug Peterson's job is on the line, I think, right now because of how bad Carson Wentz is playing. It's horrible. I mean, I know they're banged up, they're injured. That whole division's a joke. I can't believe it. But I mean, even you said the Giants, the Redskins are surprising me at this point. Alex Smith.
Watch your mouth there.
Oh, the football team. The football team.
You're canceled. Yeah, but no, the Eagles. I don't. I was such an avid Carson Wentz supporter for so long. I was like, this guy, he's good. He's not surrounded with the pieces he needs. And this year, he just took my argument and just like.
Well, he was that way, Jacob. He was an MVP frontrunner for a year, and now it's
Right.
like,
How weird is that when you look back at that?
I mean,
Who was the running back? Who was the running back from Houston a few years ago? That was so good?
Arian Foster, I think.
No, after that.
Or it might have been David Johnson.
No, after that. After Foster. I mean, I'm talking.
David Johnson was on the Cardinals.
Right, he was on the Cardinals. He's there now, I think, isn't he?
No, now he's on the Texans. Now he's the running back for the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans. Who was the Texans running back before him? Like, if there was somebody just a few years ago.
Lamar Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Lamar Miller.
Yeah, Lamar Miller. He was so good for a little bit there. No, he's just like
I saw him on the Bears the other night. I was like,
yeah, that's what made me think of this. Is when I saw him on the Bears, I was like, holy cow, man! I totally forgot about that guy, and he was good.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a little more common to see running backs do that. Maybe not that severe because he was as good as he was, but
and then just gone.
But for Carson Wentz to be an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
that threw the ball crisp, sharp, could throw it anywhere on the field to absolutely looking awful. I mean, he arguably looks like the worst quarterback in that division right now.
And how does Adrian Peterson just keep going?
Yeah, no.
And sorry to say this, sorry, Jacob,
Frank Gore.
but how does Frank Gore just keep going? I mean, these guys, they are freaks of nature. It's like, I don't understand how it happens. I think Frank Gore was drafted when I was 3.
I was just going to say, okay. Frank Gore and Rick graduated in the same class, I think.
I mean, it's like, holy cow, man.
I wish Frank Gore wasn't used anymore. Oh, my God. Like, I cannot look at Frank Gore take any more handoffs.
And what's crazy is you don't hear about him. Like, there hasn't been a year yet where, like, he's saying he's considering retiring, or this is
right, but he's good. I mean, he's doing good, Jacob. I know you hate it. He's not bad.
He wants to play with his son. I think that's like the main goal for him. Like to play it. Like imagine like he's gonna play with his kid. Like that doesn't happen. That's like LeBron wanting to play with Bronny, and like it's like how how is that
for a running back?
It's the most replaceable. Well, yeah, that's my real point. Is Peterson and Gore are running backs, and they're still going. Right. I mean,
well,
it's getting weird.
Adrian Peterson's just a different type of animal. That guy,
he's still really good.
Now I want to open up a can of worms here.
Yeah,
he's still solid.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I want to open up an interesting can of worms here that I don't understand completely, and this has to do with. Okay, AB maybe this was before he signed with the Buccaneers. He's not being charged with anything. There was an incident, another, something else we're hearing about. Now, I don't want to talk about that incident in particular. What I want to talk about is why is it that somebody like Ray Rice, okay, absolutely didn't get a second shot.
It's very interesting point.
And when before you say, well, it was on video, a lot of AB stuff has been on video. So it doesn't really apply.
And then he destroyed the camera. I mean, that was quite literally what he did, right?
That was pretty smart, wasn't it? That was pretty smart.
Yeah.
But
except for the seconds before you break the camera, you can see the person
right.
about to break the camera.
Right.
It's not like, I mean, and same thing with Kareem Hunt. Like that was on video. Like it was a different situation, but
right.
I mean,
but why is it that some people get second, third shots and some people just, that's it. You don't.
It is very interesting because Ray Rice was a really good running back. So you can't really use talent level as an excuse for
right.
Or
everybody says, oh no, well, you give AB the shot because he's so talented. They didn't do it with Ray Rice.
Didn't Ray Lewis kill a man?
Well, he was involved in. It was never proven. It was at a Super Bowl in Atlanta. Actually,
it wasn't your typical OJ.
No, it was. He was in a car, and one of his party allegedly did, and they covered it up or something. I don't remember.
You're in the NFL. How are you so dumb DeAndre Baker, I know his charges were dropped. How do you commit armed robbery? What do you need to be committing armed robbery for? Like the thrill of it? No, come on. Like you're ruining you.
Oh,
Do you not know you're gonna get caught?
Well, I agree, but I think this is interesting. I don't understand why they get this. That why like Mike is on fire right now with his comments. Second chances, Cap. What about Kaepernick?
Yes, like
And
that.
why is it?
Like
Why is it that AB is getting second chances and Kaepernick did not? I mean, is Kaepernick one of the top 64 quarterbacks in the league?
I'll say this. I'll say, not only just Kaepernick, but a lot of teams don't love having a lot of personality at backup quarterback. That seems like a thing that could
Well, that's understandable. Yeah.
end up being a distraction. I think it's the same reason why Johnny Manziel doesn't even have like a third string job on a practice.
And then there's the Saints.
Right. And it's just, I don't think teams love having a lot of personality at backup quarterback because you
Right.
can already have so much at your regular quarterback position that it's
Right.
just not. It's not something.
And what do you do though? What do you do? I mean, what about a running back versus or a wide receiver or whatever? It's weird that some people, and I don't have an answer for this, but some people get second chances and some people do not. I am more bothered by how happy or excited some people seem to be about the opportunity to say "I told you so" than they're more excited. They find some sort of joy or pleasure in AB stumbling or having a mental illness. And to me, that bothers me more than what AB has done.
It's just, and what's crazy about the AB situation is whether all these Bucs fans on here, whether you like the signing or not, or how you feel about him today, I don't see the Bucs letting him go. Not for this. Obviously, they've basically made it clear that they're not going to, from what I've read.
Right.
But without the NFL handing down a suspension, the Bucs are going to keep him because, as we know, and we've seen it over and over, especially with AB, if he's let go, somebody's going to sign him. He's
Right.
going to be in the NFL.
He'd be a Seattle Seahawk if he was let go. That would be.
Yeah. So for me, I look at it as the Bucs can sit here and, like Arian said, if he's on such a tight leash that if he does anything wrong, well, he just did something wrong. I know he's not being charged, but the proof was there. You're on camera.
Well, he didn't just do this. This was before he signed.
Exactly, but they said they knew about this before they signed him.
Right.
So,
They're saying if he does anything now since he
Right.
signed.
but I still don't. I don't see the Bucs getting rid of him in any situation other than the NFL handing down a suspension because he makes you that much better. So it's just the way
But Ray Rice would have too to many teams, and they didn't give him a shot. I get it. I get it questioning Kaepernick because you can pretty easily say this guy was not a great quarterback.
Right.
I know I can get fried for saying such a thing.
No,
Now,
I agree with you. I agree.
But yeah,
I mean,
he was not a good quarterback.
Right. By the end, he was not the same quarterback he was originally, but Ray Rice was. Donnie Pepin says, I talked about Ray Rice yesterday. Ray Rice knocked his wife out cold on video with no remorse. I understand that. AB has hit women. Okay. AB has been violent on video.
Yeah. AP hit his son. Adrian Peterson. I mean, AP hit his son. Tyreek Hill, like that whole thing. I don't exactly remember what it did. There's a ton of situations like that where it's very you pick and choose.
Right.
But it's either give people second chances or don't.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so. The Adrian Peterson one is a little. I don't know about that one. I guess I'd never really seen or read into how in depth it was the hitting. It was like a stick or something, right? Like
it was a
switch.
The term is a switch. That I guess I never experienced, but I guess it's you sort of pull you pull a branch or whatever off of a tree or bush, and you swat the person with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young, like if I did something wrong at my neighbors, like my neighbors could whoop my ass, and then I have to go home and meet my parents. So
yeah, and then they did.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, like that one's a little different. That's kind of a parenting thing. Although
Listen to Tyler. Back when I was young.
yeah, right. Back when I was, 8 and Jacob was not quite born yet.
Right.
But that's kind of a parenting thing. So I think that one's a little different of a situation. But Cap, I think also on top of not being a good quarterback, remember his tryout, was it last summer or the summer before?
Yeah, the circus.
It was
the
so
circus.
dumb. Oh my God.
He almost acts as if he doesn't want to be in there. He just wants the limelight.
I don't even think I don't think he acts like it. I think he obviously doesn't want to be in the NFL.
Well, Tyler, that's exactly right. I think because you remember it where it's like he would do the tryout and then they said there was no media there. They said the place said, or it was something like that, where like he couldn't have any media there, and so he moved the tryouts so there could be media there because he just wanted to be in the media. I don't think he actually still wanted to be an NFL quarterback.
He's quite literally made a career out of not being in the NFL.
He
How
doesn't
much is going to pay by Nike?
Right.
He doesn't want to be there. He just wants the limelight. He basically showed up for the media to wear his Kunta shirt. Remember the shirt?
Yeah.
Right.
That's almost what he seemed like he wanted to do. That was his only goal. He looked like he did because he had a chance to show off his skills and prove to some doubters that he could still play, and that wasn't his goal.
And I'll say this because if Kaepernick had the quarterbacking ability to be in the NFL, absolutely sign him to a team. Right? I don't think that's like really a debate among people. I mean, it is, but I don't think that's like I couldn't see why you wouldn't. Because looking now, like he realistically, Colin Kaepernick was right with what he was. I mean, it was like I'm not going to get all political on it, but basically, Cap stood up for what he believed in, and then he got kicked out of the NFL for it. If he has the quarterbacking ability to be in the NFL, I think he should be. I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't get a second chance. Yeah.
The problem,
like you said, if.
Right. Well, he does. He does.
Exactly. I think you're right, Jacob. If he had the ability, teams would accept the baggage that's coming along with it, right? But when you are not a good quarterback and you're just pulling that all that attention to you, it's just not what teams are ready to deal with. But then again, I mean, look at the attention AB has brought on himself, and teams were, getting ready to sign him wherever he wanted to go.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's, I mean, this is all a story for another day.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, and then I'll get everybody informed on when we will be back next. Jacob, tell everybody where you can be found and all your details and all your ats and hashtags and whatever.
Yeah, so Hard Count Football Podcast on YouTube and SoundCloud. And then you can check out the Hard Count Football Podcast live, which is Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel.
What do you got to do to get on there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just to shoot me over a text or something or a DM, and we'll figure it out. But, yeah, and then I'm on Twitter at Jacob Charno and Instagram at Hard Count Football. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Rick, I always appreciate you having me on. Tyler, it's always fun to talk. Shoot me a DM. Hopefully we get both you guys on. And, yeah.
Yeah, Jacob, I really appreciate the fact that you take the time and come on here. I really do. I appreciate it. You add a lot to the show. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, man.
All right. You have a great night.
You too. I'll see you.
All right. And Tyler, you want to do the same? Give everybody your all the dirty details.
Absolutely. Follow me at Brashaw2 on Twitter, Tyler Brashaw on Facebook. As I've mentioned before, I am an owner of a small staffing agency. If you have any staffing questions, if you're looking for some talent, or you have any hiring needs, definitely reach out to me at meastrategicsolutions.com, tyler.brashaw at meastrategicsolutions.com. Otherwise, I'm often on here with Rick here in the cheap seats or what's cooking in the South. Shoot some questions over. I'd love to answer anything you guys have got for us, and we love to debate or just have a good conversation.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tyler. Tyler, you add a lot to the show. I had some conversations with a big boss today about how much I enjoy you being on the show, and I think you add a lot to both cheap seats and what's cooking in the South. So
I appreciate that. I enjoy doing it. It's one of my highlights of the week just to jump on and talk football. You know, my wife's not a big football fan, so I can't sit here and talk with her about football.
Yeah.
So you guys are my football getaway, my conversation.
Awesome. We'll bring it, and I want recipes. All right.
Absolutely. You know what? I think I decided what I'm going with tomorrow. I'm gonna put my 5-year-old daughter away with I make a Cajun stuffed chicken, and I don't think she's got anything for that.
Well, you are welcome to bring her on here anytime to say hello.
Absolutely. I will do that. I'll try to do that next time. She watches every morning after we do the show. It's awesome because she thinks I'm like this like Hollywood superstar.
Awesome.
So we're gonna get her on.
Awesome. Well, you have a great night, Tyler.
All right, Rick. You have a good night, buddy.
Take care. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining yet again. A nice night of What's Cooking in the South. And I want you guys to send in recipes. I will once again, I'm going to type in an email address, and I want your favorite freaking recipes, especially tailgate recipes. You got to tell me who you are, where you're from, all of that, but send that in, and I would very much appreciate it. I'm going to get this back out here one more time. If I can learn to type. All right, here we go. Oops, this is Gmail, I don't know what the heck I just typed. All right, yeah. If you will send recipes to that email address, I would appreciate it. Tell me who you are, and I want your favorite recipes. Send them in, guys. That's what this is all about. What's cooking in the South? I want to know what you've got cooking. We will be back here on Saturday with What's Cooking in the South at around 9 p.m. But in the meantime, on Thursday night, come back and join us for live from the cheap seats. We always have a good time with that. So everybody, you have a wonderful night. Thank you for being a part of our little experiment here. What's cooking in the South?
Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. 320 Solar. Power up.